Hi, I'm Gabby.
I'm Meg.
We're your hosts.
Thank you for listening to the Softy Podcast.
Crispy.
Refreshing.
It's getting freaky.
Yeah, it's about to get freaky in here. Good morning, and welcome to episode 6 of the Softy Podcast.
This is insane.
We're doing it.
We've kept our word. We're here for another week.
And if you're watching on YouTube, we're in a different place. We are kind of testing out our backgrounds and our spaces and sound. So enjoy our new background today.
I love this one more than the old one. Honestly, I feel more at home here, and we have this big comfy couch.
Yeah, I can sit crisscross without my feet falling asleep in that little chair.
I'm so excited. We're back here for episode 6. I'm here with the Antichrist, Meg.
Okay, you're no Virgin Mary.
I think I'm worse than you, but your reaction when I called you the Antichrist will forever stick with me.
Oh my God. I cannot believe that. Whenever any of my clients are talking about the podcast, like, Dad, you're doing that? I'm like, yeah, did you see that bitch call me the Antichrist? And they were like, she doesn't know about your religious trauma?
I do. Like, I feel like it's something that we've always talked about, like, randomly at appointments or, like, whatever, but we've never, like, dove into detail about it.
I feel like I'm learning a lot about you during this podcast, and, like, we're getting closer because in the salon, like, yeah, we talk a lot and we've gotten to know each other through the years, but, like, I'm doing 800 things at the same time, and there's, like, stylists coming up to us chatting and stuff. Like, it's fun, but, like, we're getting deeper now.
Yeah.
I'm a little scared I'm going to burst into flames in this this podcast, though, talking about religious trauma. I'm like, I do not deny in front of your peers. Like, I swear.
It's so funny because, like, when I went through, like, my religious, well, I don't know, like, crisis, I guess, like, where I was like, God's not real, I'm an atheist, like, all that stuff.
I didn't know you went that deep with it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because I had, like, a deconstructing moment, like, unlearning the bullshit from church, but I never went as far as atheism.
Oh yeah, like, no, I, like, completely was declaimed God for, like, years of my life. Yeah,
I didn't know that. Like, when was that?
In 2018. Like, or
okay.
I mean, okay, like, it stopped, like, it started before 2018, but that's
how
like,
old were you in 2018?
18. I would say, like, it started in, like, 2017, probably when I was, like, 17, 18, when I joined the military. But I did have a little bit of that fear. So it must have started, like, when I was, like, 16. I was like, no, this is a crock of shit. Like, I don't believe any of this. Like, I've been indoctrinated into lies. Like, this is a scam. This is, like, what people look to because they're scared of, like, the other side or whatever. Because of so much trauma that I had in the church. And then 2016, I feel like it was whenever I started to be like, no, this is fake. But then 2017, I joined the Army. And whenever you join the Army, they ask you, like, they take your blood type, and then they get your religion to put on your dog tags. Like, if you ever die in war, you know, like, if you ever die in war, they can identify you, like, you know, whatever.
That's wild.
And so when they're like, okay, religion, and I got nervous because I was like, you know, this is a possibility that I could get deployed and I could end up dying. And then what? I'm going to put atheist on my dog tags. And so
would it literally say that on it?
Or I don't know, like, I think so. Like, you can put, like, pagan or, like, you know, all different religions, or you can choose to put none, you know?
What'd you put?
I put Christian because I was scared. Like, and I think
that's your soul.
Yeah, I think that, like, proved that I still did have, like, some God-fearing, like, tendencies in me because I was scared to put, like, no religion. But that was the start of, like, my religious, like, break. Yeah.
My God, I had a similar experience while I was pregnant, which is weird in itself. I was calling places to, like, book my appointment, like my first pregnancy appointment, and one of the places says, "And what religion are you?" I was like, what? I remember going, "What does that matter?" And they're like, "Oh, it's just a question we have to ask." It's ended up being something about, like, blood. I guess, like, some religions, like, you can't get, like, blood transfusions and stuff. So, like, if I was bleeding out or something, I had the same thing, like, what do I say?
Yeah.
What was it like for you, like, growing up in church? Like, I feel like we did have very different church experiences.
Yeah, for me, it was like, so my dad was, like, heavily involved in the church, and I think that he was more into it than my mom because my dad, he found God, like, I think when he was, like, 25. And then
Did he grow up in church?
no, not really, no. And he found God like whenever he moved to Florida and he was a basketball coach down there for like a couple years. And he found like God through some friends that he had, and he got really involved in a church down there. He's still friends with like people from that church. And they brought him in because he was like living in a new state, and that became like a community for him
Yeah.
down there. So my dad, ever since then, was like, going to church every Sunday, like was involved in Bible studies. And then so my life growing up, my mom, I think she kind of just like attached to that because my grandmother, like neither one of my parents grew up religious. So me being involved in the church is heavily influenced by my dad, who was a very like strong like Christian man. And so we would go to church every Sunday. It was like, we got dressed up, we went to church, and then we had like the Wednesday night Bible studies. I went to like Passport
Oh
Kids.
my God, wait, did you do Awanas?
We didn't have Awanas.
Awanas was my shit.
Did you grow up Catholic?
No.
Christian?
Yeah, we were Southern Baptist.
Okay, same. Okay. We, like, some of the churches had Awanas near us, but like we had like, it was just like Sunday night Bible study.
Okay,
Or
for
Monday.
people that don't know Awanas, though, you would like, and I wonder if your Wednesday night was still similar. Like,
It was.
you would have to memorize Bible verses, and then you got Awanas money.
Yeah.
And then you got to like go to the treasure chest and get like your Awanas money. So basically, we were just memorizing the Bible.
Yeah, that's how it was for us. And we would.
John 3:16.
Yeah, for sure.
For God so loved the world.
It was pretty much the same thing because a lot of the kids that went to the school that I went to, because I also went to a Christian school, they would go to Awanas every Wednesday night.
Yeah, well, my mom was in choir, and the church would like make dinner before, like everybody would eat like group dinner before we would break out and go while our parents went and did choir.
My mom, I think she did choir too.
And you know what? Our moms had the same haircut at that time.
Dude, it's insane because my mom has literally had the same haircut
Yeah.
for all of my life.
My mom had like a spikier version
Yeah.
of your mom. Like your mom's is more of like the question mark.
Yeah,
Like the back of her head's the question mark. My mom had a little spike, but with the same shape.
got you.
Mhm.
That's so funny. We kind of live the same lives with our moms.
Yeah.
Different, but
Yeah. Very. Well, when I was growing up, like so my mom was like, she was really involved in the church, and my dad was kind of like your mom. Like he just like kind of went along with it. He didn't grow up in church. And my mom was raised super strict Southern Baptist, and I would say that she wasn't as strict as her own mom, but that does not mean that she was not really strict with me. Like our whole lives revolved around going to church and raising like God-fearing children, very, very like strict at home with like respect and rules, and we have to be Christ-like, and everything we did was like, would Jesus do that? Or like, how are you reflecting God in you from like a really, really young age? And I remember it, I thought everybody like was like that at home for the longest time. Like when I would be in school or Girl Scouts or whatever, I thought everybody's home life was like that. I remember not really knowing about like secular music until I was probably like in like 5th or 6th grade. Like I didn't really know that there was music other than church music even. That's all we listened to in the car. We only I was not allowed to watch much like TV or movies and stuff. She was very, very strict about like what media I took in. Oh my God, there was this website called Plugged In. Did your mom ever use this?
no.
Okay, there was a website called Plugged In, and you would put in like TV or movies or whatever, and it would tell you all of the bad things in it or things that like either went with or against the Bible. And so my mom had to like do thorough research before I was allowed to see a movie or anything. Like I was not regularly allowed to watch even like PG-13 movies until I was probably like 17, 18 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like if I went to a sleepover and my mom found out I saw a movie that I didn't ask permission to, I was like grounded for a month.
Okay, but we're like past, I feel like we're like past religion, and this is like low-key abuse. Like, no, like that's like a form of control that's like she's consuming, like she is controlling everything that you're like consuming and seeing. Like that's past like the norms of like.
Yeah, it was really wild, and it was something that my friends would get really upset by too, like especially when we were older and we would go to the movies or whatever, and it was like, oh, Meg can't go because she's not allowed to see that movie, and then my mom would call their moms about why I wasn't allowed to see the movie, and then those girls wouldn't be allowed to go see the movie either because of my mom. Like
Okay.
Yeah, but anyways, just very, very, very strict. Like everything we did was surrounding that. And when I got into middle school, I got like obsessed. I just like leaned in like to everything. I was like a small group leader. I led worship for the kids. I I was always at my youth pastor's house. Like I was around church all the time, especially in the summertime. Like I did every church camp, VBS. I led like I was a small leader with the kids. I fully dove into all of it because I felt like that was more fun than trying to go against it.
Mhm.
Did you go to VBS growing up?
Yeah.
Or did you do
Vacation
church
Bible
camps and
School?
stuff?
Yeah, I did like it was called Passport Kids.
Okay, I remember hearing about that. My mom sent me to every VBS, even like not at our church too.
Yeah, I think I did go to like a VBS also. I got pregnant in 7th grade. So like that's kind of when church like full halt stopped for me. Like I was pregnant, like not going back to church. But yeah, I mean I went for years in a row. Like our vacation Bible school or Passport Kids was like we would go stay at a university that was like a couple hours away. We'd take this bus up
Oh my God,
and
I lived for that. Would you do it at night too, like take the bus? I was
yes.
just talking to my sister about that the other day. It was so fun getting to do that.
Yeah, and then we got there and like we all stayed in like the dorms and we all got like, roomed up with like a chaperone and then like some of the kids and stuff. And so we had like our roommates and there was always drama. My church was like kind of messy though. Like, did you have like relationships going on in the Bible study groups? Like,
Like the kids?
yeah, like people liking each other or like fighting over boys or like anything like that?
I don't think so. I I was like the kid that brought all their friends from school at church. Like our minivan would like pull up and like six of us would come out. Like I was winning the award for who brought the most friends. And so I feel like that was more like school stuff and I stayed in like that bubble of my friends from school at church. So I don't remember like even at church camps and stuff like lots of boys stuff because all we talked about was like anti-sex and relationship and like porn and being gay like all
That's so
so
like we never had like anti-sex, anti-gay, like anti-anything conversations, and we had like little relationships going on within our like
oh my
Bible
God,
school groups. Like that was never a topic of conversation.
that
Like
is the only topic of conversation we would have.
that's insane.
Yeah, like I remember, God, Sunday school teachers. I like remember, you know how like at church it's like you do a 4-part series, like it's like a every Sunday for a month you do this something. So I remember like we were talking about sex and premarital sex, and my like Sunday school teacher, our small group leader, would not stop talking about like, oh my God, if you save it for your husband, the sex is so good. Like you're gonna basically have bad sex your whole life. And we're like 13. Like we're like, I don't know, you're not thinking like that. Like that. Like it's so good when you wait for your husband.
I mean, I don't know. I had a baby at 13. So
No, but like
maybe I should have been in your group and you should have been in mine, like where they weren't focused on it. Because maybe if I would have heard like people, I mean, I
but
don't
you're
know.
not thinking about like how good it's going to be
Right.
or whatever when you're that age.
Yeah. No, that's kind of crazy. Like if somebody said that to my kid, I would be kind of like, ah.
Yeah, and my like only sex education was from church. Like my mom wouldn't sign the form for me to do it at school.
Oh, I've already signed one for Zelma. Teach her about her
Just
no squares.
um God, how many oh my God, how many oh God, what were they called? Abstinence things did you sign?
Oh, I've signed at least probably like 2, I feel like.
Oh, I feel like I've signed 10 of them.
Yeah.
Everywhere I looked, we were having to sign the abstinence pledges. But sex was like honestly all we talked about in church or all I remember like it sticking out. My high school pastor, I like was really close to the middle school pastor and his wife and then they moved away. Our high school pastor, every time he had a mic by him, was talking about his porn addiction.
What? Like, what?
Like there's nothing like a group of teens that makes you want to talk about porn.
But I'm confused as to like, I feel like that's something that you go to therapy for. You know what I
We were in his
mean?
therapy.
Okay, but that's crazy. And that there's something even more wrong cuz like let's say I had like some sick addiction to like watching porn, right? Like I'm not going to go talk to my kids about it. I mean, how embarrassing, how
And he had
mortifying.
6 kids of his own too. No, I haven't said the worst part though. So I forgot about this and my sister brought it up recently. So he had this hotline, like a number to call, but
No.
only for the boys.
No.
For when the boys were like struggling
With what? Jerking off?
or like wanting to watch porn, to call the hotline or text to the hotline so that it was like anonymous.
Okay, that's sick.
He
He was gonna start
horny
jerking it.
boys
Yeah.
to text you?
Yes, exactly. No, 100%. That's crazy. It's just like a burner phone that he has in his back pocket. He's a predator.
That's giving pedo.
Yeah, he's a predator.
Crazy. But it was so insane. By the time I could drive, I ended up switching churches because like I could not stand to be around this man talking about porn all the time. Like he would take a sermon that was about anything and turn it into porn. It was absolutely wild. My mom just like did not care when Lexi and I would be, my sister Lexi would be like, "Mom, he's only talking about sex and porn. Like this isn't like making our relationship with God grow."
He needs to go to horny jail, like for real, because that's insane. That's all he's thinking about 24/7. His porn addiction is like still active. Like it's not like he's like, he needs to go to therapy for that. He probably is still talking about porn to this day. I bet right now he's talking about porn.
He's probably talking or thinking about it right now.
Yeah, no.
God, we had these every year when we were in high school, we had these Valentine's dinners. So the boys in youth group would do like cooking and entertainment. So like all the girls sat down at the table, but at tables by themselves. We would all dress up and everything. And the whole thing was like spending Valentine's Day with God, like dating God and not like a person.
Wait, so the boys were cooking and like entertaining the girls?
Yeah, so they would like, somebody would play guitar, someone would like sing, like, and then they had these speakers go up. And the speakers were like our peers, like that were in relationships, and they would preach to us. I feel so crazy that this even like was a thing. So they would go, these couples would go on stage, like some of them were like in their like early 20s, like maybe like in college, and then some were in high school, and talk about how they won't say I love you until their wedding day. They won't kiss until their wedding day. They won't hold hands, and they pray before being together, like hanging out, so that they don't get tempted. And that was like what they were teaching us to do, that like we shouldn't even hug because it's temptation.
I do like the thing where it's like, telling kids to keep like to take it slow. Like for example, like my stepson, he's 14 and he has a lot of 14-year-old friends. I was a mother by this point. And he's such a good kid, and like he would never like, I don't think that I would ever see him like, because he has so many siblings and like he knows how annoying babies are and younger kids are, like I don't think that he would ever put himself in that position, and he's a smart kid. Please God. But him and his friend came home on Halloween after like going to a party. They went to a party at a girl's house. But his friend came home and he was like, "Yeah, it took so-and-so that long to kiss her on the cheek." And I was like, "Just to kiss her on the cheek? Like, what do you mean?" Like, and he had just like recently had his first kiss, and like I don't know why these kids feel comfortable enough to tell me this stuff. Like I don't care and I don't want to hear it, and I'm literally
Oh my God, I hope that Dottie and her friends want to talk about their first kiss with me.
Well, yeah, like I want to hear about it and I want to be in the know, but at the same time I'm like internally cringing. Like, is this the point of life that we're at where you guys are like literally like liking girls and like wanting to kiss them? Like
they're way past that, dude.
I know. Okay, I know.
Well, most of my friends had six by 14. I didn't.
I did. I did.
Sinner.
That's my point. It's like, I definitely, and every time I'm having conversations, like I've even been in the car with this same friend and Elijah before, and like been like, like I was a mom, like things can happen, like, like you don't need girlfriends and like stuff. And then they're like, "Yeah, I just need Elijah, like me and him, we're locked in." And like I think that they hear the message whenever I try to talk to kids, but that's not the way to teach it. Like pray before you're together, and like, no, like I think that kids can be in relationships with each other, but just need to understand the fact that like things can happen if you take it too far. And also like you have so much more life to live, sports, friends, like don't mess it up and like get too emotionally involved as a freaking teenager. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean that backfired for me because
Yeah.
I like had a very trauma bondy relationship when I got into it when I was 16 and didn't leave until I was 23. And I definitely had sex.
Yeah. Before marriage.
Yeah, but oh my God, but we both convinced ourselves that it was okay because we were going to get married one day. Thank God.
Was he religious too?
Yeah, he grew up the same way I did.
Oh.
And so did Brandon,
Wait,
actually.
the
Brandon
crazy one?
Yeah.
The crazy one was also religious.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was so messed up. We must pray for him right now. Dear Lord.
I don't want to pray for him.
I know, yeah, he doesn't deserve our blessings.
Oh, like, I hope he's better for the next one. That's all I feel.
I don't. No.
Yeah. But I became a born again virgin like 100 times during that relationship too. Like I would go to church camp and then come back and be like, we can't do that because I'm gonna save myself again.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
I was almost 17.
That is crazy to me. I mean, that's like the normal age, I feel like.
My
but,
friends
like,
had bets on it, and most of them lost because they thought that I was gonna wait longer.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So all of them had already like lost their virginity?
Mm-hmm. Well, most of them, yeah.
That's crazy.
They were like doing it regular. I don't know where are teenagers having sex?
Cars in front of my
yeah.
house.
Oh my God. Oh, that's for another episode.
Yeah.
Did you have a purity ring?
No.
I wanted one so bad.
Really?
Yeah, Gabby,
That's
it was
terrifying.
my life. I was the beacon for Jesus.
I think purity rings are like so weird. Like I recently saw a video of like a father giving his daughter a purity ring. Like it's been on my FYP.
No, I wanted one at the Family Christian Bookstore. Like it didn't need to be like that.
Got you. No, yeah, literally. I saw like a father giving his daughter one. Like, please promise me that you. And I was like, what is happening? Like, I think purity rings are kind of weird because like I don't view people as impure just because you've slept with somebody.
No,
you know
I
what
don't
I mean?
think so. No, I think purity's made up in
But
that
I
way.
do believe that like you can be brainwashed into thinking that like you're dirty because you've done that.
I actually don't think at all that like you should only be with or that it's wrong to be with more than one person in your whole life. I don't think that.
Well, if it is, it's too late for me.
Yeah, well, same.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's wrong at all, like at all. And I will raise my kids thinking that too. I think that you shouldn't have like sex before you're ready to have a baby potentially.
Well, my thing is like, how are you gonna save yourself until marriage and like not do anything? And then what if you marry some dude that like has a wanker that's like not even like you can't even work with
Or
that?
there's not like chemistry.
Right. Or like, dude, oh my God. Like I've had like, and that's for another episode too, but I've had so many bad experiences to where like if I would have waited for marriage with somebody and then that's what I ended up with, I'd be filing for divorce. I don't care. I don't care.
No.
I don't care. And I think you and I are very different with the religious thing too, because you were like head over heels for it. Like you were like embracing it and
no,
like
it was my whole thing.
But me, I always had this like doubt in the back of my mind, like
I was too scared to have the doubt. They really drilled being scared of hell into me.
Yeah.
Like really drilled it in. Like I know we joked about it the first episode of like me being scared of even watching horror movies, but like me and Brandon watched a horror movie on Halloween.
Yeah.
And I still was like, I don't like thinking about demons and hell and stuff. It really, truly, genuinely scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, I think I questioned
like burning
it.
in hell. I like have sat there and thought about the feeling of burning like that. Like they talked so in depth about that.
My mom talked in depth about hell and like would like I feel like it was when I was bad though. She was like, well, those type of people go to hell, you know? And I did have some fear of like hell.
Yeah.
But I was so young that it's like, well, I'm not going to die for a long time if I go to hell, you know? And then I think, like, I'll figure that out later, damn it.
I think about eternity of burning.
Yeah. And I worried about my grandma because when I was 5, she passed away. And she didn't believe in God. She wasn't religious. And so I was always like, you know, where did Nanny go? Because that was whenever I was really involved in the church.
I was also really scared for people's souls when they died. Like, were they a Christian?
Yeah. And so I was kind of worried about my grandma. I remember for years, and I would question my dad, like, you know, how did she go to heaven if she didn't really believe in God? And he, you know, he was like, well, she was a good person, and, you know, she wasn't raised that way, and she didn't have the guidance or, like, whatever. And so I did believe that she went to heaven because I've gotten a lot of signs from her, like, over the years. So, like, I do feel like she's still with me in spirit and, like, is one of my guides. But I remember from a very young age, I always kind of questioned like what we were learning in Bible study or like what we were learning in church and like how the earth became like an Adam and Eve, and like none of it really added up to me. And I remember my dad just being like, he would always have an explanation. And when I did become like to that rebellious point and I was like, no, this is all a crock of crap. Like the church is a scam. Like they're taking all this money. Look at Pastor so-and-so. He's living in that big house in that nice neighborhood and you're donating all this money. I was like, you're just wrapped up in it. And like, I was really like going at it with my dad about it too. And he was like, one day you'll understand, like you'll get it. Like you just have to go through this, part of your life. And my mom and dad were kind of like scared for me because like talk about Antichrist, I was like kind of becoming it. Like, I was reading the Satanic Bible. I went to
Where did you find a Satanic Bible?
At a bookstore at the beach. Me and Jalen hit the beach. I went to this old bookstore. I said, you guys have the Satanic Bible? They did.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Bought it. Yep. I read the whole entire
What's
thing.
in that?
It's about Satanism and like what Satanism is. And it's really
I don't really even understand what it is.
It's not even really about worshiping the devil. It's about like pretty much living for yourself. And so I read that and my mom, I will never forget her, like, I think she was like putting away stuff in my room and she saw the Satanic Bible like on my dresser and she was like, like that can't be in the house. Like that's not good. And I was like, Mom, like you don't even understand me. Like you don't get me. Like, like I'm like, you don't understand. And so, I think I still have it somewhere, like in my in my possessions. Yeah, somewhere. But I went through an entire like this is a crock of crap and like we're all being scammed crisis. And then I totally hated God and I hated religion and I hated it all and I didn't believe in anything. But I still had that fear lingering, like what if it is real? Hello.
Yeah, like that fear is crazy. When I started doing my like deconstructing everything, I think I've come to for me, like my like current feelings with everything is I feel like the Bible was interpreted by a bunch of men, and I feel like it has been used to control women specifically, and put down women in a lot of ways. I think that there's a lot of truth to the Bible, but I don't agree with everything that I was taught. Like that's not, like, I think I joked in the first episode, like that's not the God I learned in church is not the God that I like feel in my heart. Cause I do think there's something bigger than us. And I think that we go somewhere after we die. I don't know if I believe in hell fully anymore.
I don't.
Yeah. Like, but I'm still like scared of it. I'm scared of it, but I don't believe in it. I don't know how to describe that anymore, but like I feel like my morals still align with like a lot of the stuff that I was raised with, and like becoming a parent thinking about that stuff too, like definitely not as extreme as I grew up with, but it's been a weird turnaround. I don't remember when my like change with it all was, because I went to church weekly until I was maybe 22.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I was saying is when I learned how to drive, I stopped going to that church and I started going to a different church. Me and my ex-boyfriend would go there together, and I really like liked that pastor, and I felt like I agreed, or like I could not agreed with him. I could relate to him more. He like had a cool like hipster haircut. He had a hard part and he had like tattoos, but it was a church full of old people still, so it just made me feel more comfortable. And I went there, yeah, until I was 22. And I don't know what exactly made me stop. I remember, oh God, if you live in Cincinnati, there's this like mega church chain called Crossroads.
Oh my God.
That could be a whole tangent I go on. Mega churches are crazy.
The energy you get when you even drive by one is insane. Not good energy either.
It is noise in there.
Yeah.
All of them. There's like 5 or 6 of them now.
Yeah.
But I went to Crossroads on an Easter Sunday, and the whole sermon was about depression and suicide. It had nothing to do with church, with like the Easter story. And then they passed out cake and champagne instead of like bread and grape juice, like for communion after. And something like really didn't sit right with me about like talking about like depression and suicide and then passing out literal like alcohol, like that. All of it felt really, really weird to me. And also having alcohol at church, like I know like Catholics with wine. I always grew up to in church that did grape juice though. It just felt really weird.
Catholic churches, brother.
Yeah.
They throw down.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to go to those church festivals in the summer because my mom was like, "No, them Catholics are drunks," which like
They are.
funny now.
But honestly, like, it's crazy being sober and like realizing like, oh, these motherfuckers are drunk, because my kids go to Catholic school and I love it. Like, I love being involved in the Catholic Church, but like these people get down and rowdy, but like in a respectful way. Like, none of it's crazy, but you can tell that everybody's lit and they're having a great time.
God, I remember the first time in church hearing that getting drunk was a sin though. And
Is
being
it?
yes, getting drunk and like doing drugs and stuff, be like mind altering things. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh my God,
I
should
missed
I-
that part of the Bible.
Yeah. But I remember hearing it and like even staying back after the sermon and being like wine and beer, like if you get drunk, it's wrong, right? Because I grew up around alcoholics, being
Uh-huh.
like they're sinning,
Yeah.
they are. I have to be perfect, and they're sinning.
I didn't know that part of the Bible.
Yeah, let me chat GPT the Bible verse.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that, like, I guess I never thought about that. I know in sobriety, like, God and even in like AA and like the Big Book and stuff, like,
The big book.
yeah, the Big Book. I've started reading that. They talk about like God a lot, so maybe that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know.
do not get drunk on wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit. Wine is mocker and beer is brawler. Whoever led astray by them is not wise. Be alert and of sober mind.
Be what?
Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour.
That's probably, yeah. I mean, that's true. Hello, I was not very wise. I am a dumbass.
You are not a dumbass.
Sometimes.
No.
That's okay.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
I think that like self-accountability and like knowing that like I am dumbass sometimes. I definitely can't read.
There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy though, to know that information about the Bible and then to watch your parents turn around and get crappy.
Because I had to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like, and I in therapy I'm working through shame because that's something I feel all the time when I'm not perfect, and I really think it's from being drilled that I have to be as good as Jesus all the time.
Yeah.
My whole life.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I really like experienced much like guilt from religion or like shame. My parents definitely, like, my mom would be like, people like that go to hell, like if I was being bad, or like, that wouldn't make God very happy. Like, God wouldn't. I remember when my mom found the Satanic Bible in my room and she like did try to instill some shame into me, but it didn't work because I was like so past the point of like shame, and like I was just angry.
That you're in the spot where like my parents are stupid, they're brainwashed, like I know more than them.
Yeah, I was in that for quite a bit too. And, I never thought that I would even like be open to exploring a relationship with God again, because when I met Cody, he also grew up in the Catholic Church and like went to mass every, week with school, and like was like,
Some people go every morning.
yeah.
Brandon's brother goes like multiple times a week in the morning for
Yeah.
morning mass or whatever.
Yeah, I think that they go multiple times. I know they at least go one time a week though. And so Cody was raised like that, and I think that he had like somewhat of a relationship with God when he was younger. I think his mom was somewhat religious, but like it was nothing crazy.
Like kind of like Christmas, Easter, Christians.
Yeah, like I think that he was religious, but then when I had met Cody, I was like far off into my, God sucks, and he was like pretty much atheist. Like he was like, there is nothing after life. Like this
You're
is
like, this guy gets me.
yeah, and I was like, this guy gets me. Like Cody has an upside down cross tattooed on him.
Oh my God. My first tattoo is a giant Bible verse on my chest.
Yeah.
Did I see you before or after I lasered that?
I think no, I wasn't there during the process of it because you had showed me like part of the progress. But yeah, Cody has a coffin. He has his ex-girlfriend's name tattooed on his rib.
Okay.
And he put a coffin over her with an upside down cross. Yeah. And you can still kind of see her name like when light like hits it, because the tattoo was done pretty deep, so it kind of scarred. So you can see her name like Loki in the coffin with the cross upside down on it.
That's funny.
Yeah. So we were
Is
both.
your name tattooed on Cody?
No, my wedding band is though. That was like a mental crisis that he had, because if like that girl like she was like Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Damn.
He
I want
dated
someone to
her.
tattoo my name on them.
Yeah, he dated her like right before me for like a year.
He got someone tattooed after a year?
Yeah, I think after a couple months. Like, I don't think you understand. When me and Cody met each other, we were like, I was about to marry like somebody who I was friends with and hooking up with because I was trying to get like an apartment. Because we were in the army, and once you get married, you can like get an apartment.
God.
Yeah. So like we met like in the trench in the thick of it. Like Cody was like a drunk and I was too, and like
When I met you, you were sober. I was thinking about that the other day.
was I?
Yeah, because I used to always offer you a White Claw at the salon, and you'd say, "No, I'm sober." Remember?
No, I don't remember that. I might have been putting on a good show.
No, you would tell me like you were smoking weed still, but you were not drinking alcohol when I met you.
I hid it from like the people of the internet for a while.
No, I feel like you talked about being sober when I met
did.
you. Yeah.
I talked about it.
And then you went on some trip and you started drinking again because I remember you would drink in the salon when I would offer it to you eventually.
What trip did I go on?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know that I was lying for a while that I was sober too.
Sinner lies.
Mhm. Yeah, no, for sure. My first trip around the sun of sobriety was like partially like me trying to get sober, and then me being like, I'm drinking at home. Fuck you guys.
Oh my god.
I am. So what are you gonna do about it? You don't know. But no, yeah. So when Cody and I met, like we were both down that rabbit hole of like, and it's so crazy. So like I started finding God again, getting sober. And this is like where it got like hot with us last time, was like talking about like our relationship with like God now, and me asking if you were religious. And I don't even consider myself religious. I think whenever I think of religious, I just think of like a relationship with God and entirely. And so when I decided to get sober, I like pretty much like for the first time in like years was like, God freaking help me. I don't know
Which
what.
is a thing with like
Yeah.
getting sober because AA is all connected with
Well,
God.
I had
is it
no
not?
idea about that. Like, because I really haven't even started to work the steps until like now, a year after, which is kind of like backwards for a lot of people. So like now I'm starting to work the steps, the 12-step program, and I like without even knowing any of that, I was just like, God freaking help me, which is really normal, like when you're trying to get sober. And I like felt like an overwhelming sense of like security, like, I've got this. And so I just started like talking to God and like found my own personal relationship with God. And that's what I think that people don't understand is like, you don't have to find God in a church, and you won't find God in a church. You will never find your relationship with God in any building with anyone. It has to be one-on-one. And I feel like everybody's relationship with God can look different. You can be someone, you could literally be a porn star who's sleeping with a million different people. You can be, somebody who has a terrible past. You can be a murderer in jail. You can be anybody, and you can still have a relationship with God. And I think that that's the part that like people lack. Like they're like, oh, like I can't have a relationship with God. I've done X, Y, and Z, or like I don't plan on changing my life in any way. But really, you don't need to change your life to have a relationship with God. Like,
Yeah, I think that people think they need to be perfect to be, especially in a church. And it's funny that you say that like it's singular, like it's a relationship just with you and you don't need other people in a building. But I was always raised that God is present when two or more are gathered. I think that's a Bible verse or something. And
Yeah.
so I think that was a way of like getting people to church. And the whole thing, the church is just like there's so much hypocrisy in it. And like that turns people away, not being perfect in the first place because you're being judged there, which is hypocrisy, judging people coming in. I think it like being spiritual is something that I feel like I identify more with than saying religious, because religious feels like church to me.
I agree.
And spiritual is one-on-one and like personal to yourself.
Yeah. I would consider myself like spiritual, and I do believe in God, and like I would identify myself as a Christian, and like both my kids, Zelma, she says she's Catholic. Whatever, pop off queen. Jalen, he was raised Christian like by my parents. Like even though I wasn't instilling that in him, my dad was, because he taught and coached at a Methodist college. Like it was a religious college still. And so my parents instilled that into him since a young age, and he's always believed in God. And I never took that from him because that's not my place,
Yeah.
even if I was in like, my I hate God phases. So for me, it is like, it's definitely like a one-on-one, like I have my relationship with God. And like whenever I talk to people who are like, I need guidance, I need help, I'm like, you need to fix your relationship with God. Because my relationship with God, your relationship with God, everybody has a different relationship, and that's how I view it. And it's so crazy because I, started this like, spiritual thing maybe a year and a half ago, like a little bit before I started getting
I
sober.
remember when you sat down in my chair, you went, Meg, I'm talking to God again. Don't freak out. Like,
I know.
don't judge me. You're going to think I'm crazy. Like, you
Yeah.
were immediately were on the defense, like, thinking I was going to, like, think you were a wild person.
Well,
or,
because
like,
I thought, like, I genuinely thought, because we've talked a little bit about religion.
no, I mean, I just had a crazy upbringing. Like,
Yeah.
I've only scratched the surface of, like, the weird stuff. Like, I'm looking at my list on here, and it's just been crazy for me. And I feel like I get defensive or, like, closed off when people say stuff like that, because I've seen people get back into church, and that can mean, like, just so many things, because you're such a loving and accepting person. And, like, it's not something that you did. It's not based on facts of anything that you did, but I get nervous and scared around those people because I don't want to be judged by anyone, but I know
Right.
that you're not a judgmental person.
Yeah, I think for me, like, me connecting back with God has made me, like, less judgmental, because it's almost like, oh my gosh, like, dude, like, I'm so fucked up and crazy and twisted, and I've done so many things, and I've lived so many lives, and like all that stuff, to where it's like, when I meet someone who, not even like judging you, like, there's nothing to judge you about, like, me and you are both, we're woohoo, but
Oh,
like,
yeah.
even if I meet somebody who like does need to do a bunch of like work and stuff, I've never been somebody to like meet somebody with judgment right away. Like, in order for me to judge you, I have to like really know you and stuff. And then usually I'm having those conversations directly with somebody, like, girl,
Yeah.
like, what?
Well, and it's something that was within myself too. Like, to be honest, I don't want to say I was homophobic, but I feel like I kind of was growing up, because that's all I was around and that's what I was taught. I was really sad for people that were gay or like trans, like, you're breaking Jesus's heart. Like, that was my mindset.
Oh my god.
God, I remember doing hair and makeup in high school for theater, and that was the first time I was like around like people that were openly gay, and like I remember going and crying, like, sad for them that they don't know how much Jesus loves them and they're doing this.
No, you did not.
Yes, I absolutely did.
You cried for gay people?
I absolutely did.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then when I started in a hair salon, that was the first time I was around like trans people. I really think that the universe put so many trans people in my chair when I was in when I first started out. Like, I did so many haircuts and like services for people that were transitioning. I babysat a now little girl that from the minute she could talk, was not a little boy. I think that was put in my life for a reason. I was around like openly gay people often being in a salon. I remember so vividly when gay marriage was legalized, and like all of that just like left my body, seeing how like happy people were. Like, I just knew, like I remember being like, all of that was fake, like, not real. I cannot believe I've thought that way for so long, when on that day when it was legalized. But I was probably 20 or 21 when that happened.
Well, your mom was homophobic too, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, like, my mom, her twin brother is gay, and like I believe she thinks she was like contaminated in the womb with him. Like,
Please. I think it's okay. So like, it's so funny because looking back at my childhood, like, I never really, I never heard my parents talk about it really, like, about.
no, gay people were really bad. You love the sinner, hate the sin.
I mean, my grandma was always like, kind of, oh, look at them two boys, they're holding hands, ooh la la, like, oh,
She's French, if you didn't get that.
Yeah, my grandma's French. And so my grandma, and I don't even think my grandma was ever homophobic. She just was very like, what? Like,
it's a thing.
Yeah, like, that's crazy. Like, I didn't really see that back in my day in the 40s, My grandma was born in 37, y'all.
That's wild.
Yeah, so, but my Uncle Wayne, he was really religious too, and like, he was extremely homophobic. Like, I remember one time we were at the beach, and like, he saw two gay men holding hands and was like, ugh, like, get that out of here, like, ugh, like, completely disturbed, like, ruined his day to see. And that was like the only really homophobic, and my mom was like, God, mind your business, like, it's none of our business. Like, let people.
I was just really sad for them.
Yeah, I felt indifferent, and I think in like 6th grade, I was kind of a little bit fruity myself, and so I
Just
was
in the
like,
6th grade.
yeah, that's whenever I noticed it.
Oh,
Like,
I'm like, girl.
no, no, I noticed I was a little bit like, I'm kind of a fruitcake, like just a little bit, but then I got made fun of it. And I wasn't even talking about like liking a girl or being attracted to her. I called this new girl at our school really pretty. I said, oh, yeah, she's really pretty. And then everybody started saying that I was bi and going around the whole school and making fun of me. And I was at a public school at this point. I got
And you
kicked out of
showed
the
them
Christian.
you got pregnant.
Yeah, I said, that's it. I'll get pregnant right now. But no, I got made fun of by like the whole school for being bi, and I was like, oh my god, like this is the thing, like we're like making fun of people, like, well, oh my god, like I'm not even that gay, like I'm not even fully gay, like I'm over here getting crucified, I'm not even a full gay, I like boys too. Like what's happening? Like I literally have a crush right over there that I've been crushing on forever. I called one girl pretty, I'm being crucified. Like I was, and then it became cool to be bi, and I'm like,
oh yeah, if you're not bi, you're not cool.
and I'm like, okay, so now y'all are bi.
Trendsetter.
Yeah, I was like,
You've
this
been an
is
influencer from day one.
that was still such a triggering experience looking back. That like I was being like walking down the halls and like people laughing at me and like making fun of me, like, oh my god, like you like girls, like, and it made me feel like I'm insane because it was like I didn't even say that. I never even said like, I want to bend her over right now or like whatever. You know what I mean? I said she was freaking pretty.
God you wouldn't in the 6th grade.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I just said she was really pretty. I'm also like a nice person. Like, I can give compliments to people. Like, oh, okay, baddie.
She's still
okay.
defensive.
Yeah. Well, whatever, dude. Whatever. My whole thing is that like, so it was never even a thing in my brain to like.
We talked about gay people a lot at church though, like being bad. We had this thing on Wednesday nights when I was in high school. You know those places, they're literally called receptions? Like people have like wedding receptions and bar mitzvahs and stuff. So for some reason we did Wednesday night church in high school there, and it would be 2 pastors, and then there was like a hot seat in the middle, like an armchair they would bring up. And I swear, every single week, if we weren't, they would obviously we would talk about porn too, but they would talk about being gay. It was a thing. And I brought my friend Lucas every week, and turns out that boy is very gay. And I like, when he came out to me, I felt like I didn't like act, like I didn't know how to act because I felt so scared that he thought that I agreed with all that stuff. And but I really feel like the churches that I went to, we definitely talked about how bad being gay was all the time. They didn't do that at your church?
Mm-mm. The funniest thing is so I was really good friends with this girl in church, and her mom was like kind of friends with my mom. Like they were close. Like I think my mom used to cut her hair and stuff. And when I got pregnant, she had the most to say about me, right? She had the most to say about me. One time she saw me and my mom in Target after I had Jalen, and Jalen was a baby, and she was like, yeah, we've been like, we just feel so bad for you. Like, just being really condescending and like a fucking big bitch. And so time passes, it goes on. I haven't been involved in the church forever. Guess who pops out with
daughter?
a girlfriend and is gay? Her daughter.
No, it's like almost gay to be really involved in church. I feel like all of those girls are gay now.
And it's so funny. And I said, you know what? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. My mom was like, how does it feel to have a gay daughter?
Yeah, praying for you.
And my mom has never been like homophobic. Like my best friend growing up was trans. Like she lived with us when we were teenagers. Like my mom does not have a judgmental bone in her body. She doesn't care, but it's just so funny because I bet her mother was so upset, tried to tell her that she wasn't gay. I bet she was rolling over that girlfriend, and it gives me so much satisfaction. Pop off.
God, I had so many. It was like a thing for me, like it happened more than twice, which feels like a lot. The girls that I went to church with growing up, they would come get their hair done by me like a few years later. Like I hadn't seen them in a long time. And they would all tell me that they were, or not all, the 2 or 3 girls this happened with, told me that they were gay. And the next time I would see them, they were engaged to a man. That's happened more than once.
Okay, but I think everybody, like, I think that being a woman, like, I think everybody's a little bit gay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that, like, girls will get their first, like, acceptance of, like, oh, I can like girls, and, like, that's acceptable. And then, but they're not really fully gay. Like,
let me clarify. They were already with the men when they told me that, and they were like, I don't want to be with him. I'm in love with my best friend. Or, like, there was a woman that they were in love with that they wanted to leave their boyfriend for, and then they got engaged to them instead. And that is what felt crazy to me.
That is kind of crazy.
No, and that it's happened more than twice.
I mean, I've always said, like, if me and Cody ever break up, like, I could never be with another man, and I genuinely stand. Like, I
think we'll be together.
Yes. We'll just leave our husbands for each other. Bring
And
Daddy
live here.
over. Yeah. But, like, genuinely, like, I don't know. I think that a lot of women, and I think men are too, they're just scared to say it. Like, no, every man is a little bit gay, and it's not weird. I don't think that it's weird. I think that, like, it's okay.
It's just normal.
Like, guys just have to be like, oh no, I only like girls. Like, you don't have to be like that. It's so freaking weird to me. Like, I can't. But no, a lot of girls, I think that they get that first, like, round of, like, oh, it's okay. Or, like, or they get fed up with, like, one guy, you know?
Yeah, and that's their last.
Yeah.
Their last hurrah.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I've always, like, it's almost been, like, every relationship was, like, different. Like, I would date a girl, then I'd date a guy, then I'd date a girl, then I'd date a guy, then I'd get sick of both, you know?
We've covered so many things on this one episode.
I feel like it all ties back to religion, though, if you think about it. Like,
but God, I have more stories. We could do another episode on this, like, next season.
Yeah, for sure. Where are you at with religion today?
Get your foot off me, free. I feel like I, like, got really into meditating for a while and being in, like, touch with myself, and sometimes I feel like I do that while, like, with praying, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But often online, I don't know, when I'm doom scrolling, I see, like, so many sad things, and so, like, I, like, stop and pray for that. Or, like, if I'm driving and, like, there's an ambulance or a police officer or something, like, sirens going off, I, like, pray that everything's okay.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff. I guess that might be when I need something, isn't it?
No, I feel like whenever you need something is, like, you feel lost and confused. Like, you know that song by Jelly Roll, like, I only talk to God when I need a favor? That was me for, like, a really long time. Like, I'd only look to God whenever I needed something. But, like, I guess I have the same sort of, I feel like I, like, talk to God or, like, pray anytime I'm, like, feeling like,
Like, you need to center yourself.
like, if I'm about to, like, pop off, I kind of just take a second and I'm just like, take this anger away, please, Lord, because I'm about to kill someone, you know? Like, because I'm about to literally pop smoke, you know? But, yeah, no, like, I feel like I talk to God. I try to, like, meditate and, like, ground myself and, like, take a step back and, like, be like, okay, like, you know, realign me for a second. Like, for example, Kevin got his car completely wrecked in front of our shop the other day. And Kevin, like, he was really worked up about it. Like, he was very upset. And I went out there.
Making a TikTok about it.
Yeah, and usually whenever, like, he gets upset, it also, like, makes me get upset, and I feel like I need to defend him. But instead of, like, feeding into his energy and, like, and I knew if I got upset, he was gonna get even more upset because I'm matching his energy, you know? And so I went out there very, like, calm and collected, and I started talking to the guy for Kevin that hit his car, and it's this older guy, and I felt really bad, and, like, I was just talking to him. I was like, it's okay, man. Like, me and him have both been on this path of, like, you know, realizing material things don't matter and, like, it's just a car, we're okay, that's all that matters, you know? And it really, like, de-escalated the entire situation, and it de-escalated Kevin and the other guy. He still felt bad, but you know, before that I said, oh God, like, you know, help us through this, kind of, like, I said a little, like, prayer up, and it really does help sometimes. I feel like it, like, helps me come back down to earth and, like, realize what matters most, which is, like, you know, the people that are involved in situations and, like, you know, the feelings and stuff. And I was really freaking proud of myself for that, because usually I'd go out there and be like, you asshole, watch where you're going. You can't see nothing. You can't drive a U-Haul, you know?
You pop off way less than you used to.
Oh my gosh, I've done so much growth. Yeah. So God did that for me. I swear. Without God, I'd be in jail.
Thank you, Sky Daddy.
For real, thank you. You know?
Well, was that your thorn this week? We usually close with a rose and thorn.
No.
Not even.
Brother. No. My thorn this week, okay, was I decided to pack a carry-on to go to Chicago. It was my Bays bag, which I'm using here today. Still has a luggage tag on the airport. I'm literally fresh off the plane here. And I decided, I'm gonna carry it on. I'm gonna put it above, you know, so I save $80 checking it both ways, whatever. That bag was over 20 pounds.
No,
I'm a strong
your
person.
Shoulder hurts.
I had a layover where it was like one of those layovers where you land and the other flight is already boarding in Chicago. That airport is so big. I was running through the airport, pulling my hair.
Not the fresh extensions.
I could have screamed in the airport. I was so mad. I was so pissed. I checked it on the way back. I didn't give a fuck. It has scuffs all over it and stuff. Like, it's been through it. It has a sticker on it now that I'm going to have to freaking scrape off. That was my thorn of the week. What was your thorn of the week?
Oh, goodness. I think I have an ear infection and I like cannot hear.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
like that really sucks. It sounds like I am in a fishbowl, like hearing my own voice.
Where have you what have you been doing? You've been sick a lot.
No, me and Dottie got sick like literally 2 weeks ago, and I feel fine, but I cannot like beat this congestion.
It could be Zelma gets ear infections and it like runs down to her ears and shit. You need to go to the doctor.
No, I do. And like, funny, I have health insurance, but I don't have a primary care doctor.
Oh.
So like I need to go to urgent care or something. I need to like be an adult. I need to go to the dentist. I need to go to the eye doctor. I need a primary care doctor. I probably need to go back to the audiologist because this happens every time I get a cold. And I have hearing aids. I don't know if I've told you that. I like don't wear them.
Yeah. Well, for my problem is even though I have health insurance too, like not everything is covered, like by mine at least. And then like I get these bills afterwards and I'm like, I'm never going to the doctors again because like I'm fine, but I probably need to go to the dermatologist. I need to go.
Oh yeah, that too. Whole thing.
Yeah.
What was your rose this week? My
rose this week was oh, I got the keys to my new storefront. That was my rose. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited.
I can't wait to see it. We haven't gotten to talk about it.
I know, yeah. And I need to bring you to see it before everything. And I'm getting a mural artist to come in who's local. And she had the coolest idea. Well, it was my idea, but she's like making it come to life and she's super talented. And like, I'm so excited to work with her instead of like doing wallpaper. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just so excited to like get that whole chapter started.
I can't wait to see it.
I know, I'm so excited.
My rose is that my sister and I went to the Jonas Brothers concert.
And you guys were so cute.
Yeah. I'm hot.
I don't know the song.
Oh my God,
I'm cold.
You're cold.
You're
go
cold.
Around like you know. Burning up for you, baby.
I don't know this song.
Burning Up is their like one song.
I just thought that they were cute. I never really listened to their
whatever.
music.
Yeah, bring boy bands back though. It was awesome. We were in the nosebleeds, and it was in Indianapolis, which I never want to drive there ever again in my life. It would be like turn right, and there's 3 rights that you could turn.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with me. I hated that.
Did you stay the night?
No.
Oh, straight there and back?
Yeah, and you're in the middle of nowhere in between Cincinnati and Indianapolis. Like, there ain't no street lights on the highway.
It's the worst drive ever. I make it at least a couple times a year for, like, competitions.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And you make one wrong turn, and it added 30 minutes, and I made wrong turns.
Oh, yeah.
That pissed me off for real. But the concert was so fun. It was in, like, some basketball stadium. I don't know basketball things. It was so steep. Have you ever been in a basketball stadium?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so steep that I felt like if I like tripped, I would have fallen down to my death.
Wait, like the concert was like on the court?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, like it like looked like a concert. Like it had like the whole stage and everything.
Oh, okay.
But I was up in the nosebleeds and it's literally like this.
What's the nosebleeds?
You've never heard that?
No.
When you go to a big arena concert and like you're in the very top, like in the shittiest seats. Like it's called the nosebleeds because you're so high up that like something with the altitude, like you can get like a nosebleed. You never heard that?
No.
Yeah, well, it was really fun. I don't know any of the new Jonas Brothers music, so like we kind of just like vibed for a lot of it. I didn't even know they had new stuff. All 3 of them are girl dads. I didn't know that. Love that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. And they were like really personable with the fans, like the people that were on the floor, like that had signs and stuff. They were going up and like talking to people and taking like song requests. And like they brought a few people up on stage, like that were like, there was this man that like definitely was autistic. And like he had like this shirt that had all their faces on it and stuff. And they let him play the tambourine. And he was running around the stage. It was so cool. Like it was a really cool show.
That's awesome, dude. I love the Jonas Brothers. Yeah. I love them. Didn't even know
Burning Up.
Yeah, I don't know many of their songs, but I do.
Fan.
I love the Jonas Brothers.
What about the year 3000?
3005. That song.
What? No.
Okay.
You said I've been to the year 3000.
I've heard it.
Not much has changed, but they lived underwater. You don't know?
Underwater
And your great, great, great granddaughter is doing fine. Doing fine. I took a trip to the year 3000. This song had gone multi-platinum. Anyways. All right. Well, we hope that you had fun listening to this wild episode. Peace and blessings. God bless you.
Yeah, I will be praying for each and every single one of you guys, and
Taking prayer requests in the comments.
taking prayer requests in the comments. Let us know what you want us to pray about, And yeah, thanks for being here. We can't wait to see you in our next episode, and we love you guys.
Love you.